Saturday Journal. So yesterday was a fast day, right? I had said yesterday that I was going to loosely intend to fast for 48 hours, not a firm commitment. The first, I guess, 36-ish hours, it was probably uh, later than 5 on uh, on Thursday, later than 5 on Thursday that I started the fast, so that I last ate. So it's probably not quite 36 hours, but approaching 36 hours fasted now, and no ill effects. Feeling good. Everything is fine. Yeah, hungry, yes, but not. It. I've started to get to this point with this fasting thing that um, I can honestly say I feel hungry and I like it, and that I think is key to this having some merit. Of course, the hormone stimulation and all of that stuff is of course the whole reason that you do this thing. But um, so so. But I had said, do a 48-hour fast. I had also said, well, hey, I'm going to lift tomorrow, being now today, and I'm not going to do both of those things. So it's decision time for do I want to carry through and do that 48-hour fast and push the lifting off? Thing is, I'm going to play basketball tomorrow, and I either have to lift before playing basketball, or I'm not. I'm not going to lift after basketball. That's just, I've never liked doing that. It's always been that when I was in college and I would do both on the same day, I had to lift first because after I play basketball, I am just spent and my lifts are not worth a hoot. So it's not going to happen that I'm going to lift after playing basketball. I think today will go ahead and be a lift day. I am going to lift fasted, and that's something I haven't done a lot of. I've done a little bit, and it seems to work pretty well. I've heard about that the hormone stimulation, that your HGH levels are at their highest at around 48 hours of fasting. And so that lifting fasted is effective and good, and something to not shy away from. So that's what I intend to do today. I will lift fasted, but after lifting, then I am going to feed, the replenishing of glycogen stores and all of that kind of stuff that, post resistance training, that at least, I mean, these things are always, who do you listen to, right? Because everybody tells you something different about all these things. So, but the dogma that I'm going to adhere to is that you feed your workout, and I will break the fast within an hour of having completed a resistance training session. So, not going to try to complete the 48-hour fast, but I mean, this is a significant fast nonetheless. So, feeling good, doing good. We'll consume some carbohydrates today after the training session, and we'll see what the family wants to do for eating, but I will participate with them. So yesterday, as far as family, um, wife had a rough day. So, just being her partner yesterday was a big part of my family yesterday. Um, so, you know, a time of need, you gotta be there, and it's not a got to, though. I mean, it's a get to, right? I mean, it's unfortunate that these situations happen in life, but it's opportunity too for for being the person that I say I want to be. So yeah, being support yesterday was a big part of what happened in the evening. There was also this thing at the kids' school, this cookies with Santa thing, where there's crafts for kids and all kinds of stuff. And my oldest daughter was working the thing. They're doing a fundraiser for their gifted and talented program as well. That they're going to be making a donation to the service dog program and stuff. So she was really excited to be a part of that and to be raising for charity and some of that stuff. So that was cool. And so, her and her friend sold a whole bunch of stuff to their fellow students and raised money for the charity. And their teacher, their gifted and talented teacher, said that they will probably take those sixth graders and go and to deliver the donation to the service dog organization, and get to play with the dogs or something along those lines. So a good thing there. The other kids, I think, are a little big for Santa, but they still, they just went and had fun, saw some of their friends, all that stuff. And so, all of us were together there as a family, and that was a good thing. So, it was cool. I don't know. A lot of the people around the school are kind of, I can take or leave them, but it's social and it's cool. So, yeah, that was a good day, right? I did go do swim, hot tub, and sauna, as I said I would do. No big intensity there, just a little bit of activity just to break the day of banging on a keyboard, writing code, deploying things to production, and did one podcast interview yesterday as well. So, but yeah, just got a little activity, a light swim, did the sauna, and so that was good. So I want to talk about gratitude, right? I was listening to a podcast this morning, um, Thaddeus Russell, right? Anybody who's listening to this, if you are not listening to the unregistered podcast with Thaddeus Russell, man, you're missing out. You're doing it wrong, right? Go subscribe to that feed because, man, that dude he is a thinker. So he wrote this book called The Renegade History of the United States, where he lays out his thesis that that the troublemakers, the prostitutes, the drug dealers, the criminals, that these are integral to the American experience, and that history is full of these people who are marginalized, who are looked at as less, right? That the kind of the outskirts of society, that these people make enormous contributions, and that at the same time you have the Thomas Paines walking down the streets with their dandy mannerisms and all of that stuff, looking down on other people, that there were these these outcasts that also that they drive culture, and that's an important part of the historical experience, not only in the U.S. but world history. So that's a sidetrack, right? That's a little bit about him. He's an interesting guy. He's from the left, right? But he is a very liberty-minded person, and he's fascinating, and he makes me think. And that's really kind of the tagline of his podcast, is that he's talking to people who say things you're not supposed to say, and not just that they're troublemakers, but that they make him think. And it's brilliant. Listening to that podcast is just an absolute joy. Several episodes come to mind. One was a feminist pornographer, and it was exquisite. Just so much to take away. Anyway, he did an episode that was, instead of his typical interview with somebody, thought-provoking, it was just him talking about Thanksgiving, right? And that's how far behind I am in my podcast listening, is that I'm just getting to Thanksgiving now, which actually is an improvement over where I used to be. So I've unsubscribed enough podcasts that I'm actually catching up now. But so he did a Thanksgiving monologue podcast episode talking about what he's thankful for, because he feels like he really has something to be thankful for. And what he cited was letting go. And he talked about he had this dream growing up that he was going to be, this married father of 3 living in some place like Berkeley, this socialist, right, fighting for social justice, and that he now has a very different reality. And go listen to it. I won't try to tell his whole story. So I want to echo that sentiment, right? Letting go. And I've said it many times in context of Developer on Fire, of podcasting, of becoming a more social human being, that I tell myself this story, right? I have historically told myself this story: good with machines, not good with humans. And the self-image that I had was that of ever increasing, deeply technical contributor, and that was my path forward, and that was going to be the rest of my life. And I have let go of that, right? I have a very different vision for my future now. And of course, I mean, 6 months from now, my future, my existence is probably going to be very different than what I envision at this point, right? So echoing Thaddeus Russell, that attachment to, now I sound like Master Yoda, right? The letting go of your attachments. But and I don't subscribe to that. I think there's a lot wrong with the religion of the Jedi. But the attachment to a vision of what the future must be can cause us to eschew opportunity, right? That's knocking. And so I think letting go of our vision in order to take the path that's right in front of us, right? Much like the Little Mermaid, right? This just occurred to me that that Eric is, he's got this ideal of the singing woman who rescued him from drowning, right? And that when Ariel, who has no voice and in his mind couldn't possibly be the same person, though he has an inkling that she might be, right? That he's not pursuing what is right in front of him, what is obviously there, a match made in heaven, if you will, because of this fantasy of something better, right? And letting go is the path forward to finding the fulfillment that we seek, because, right, seeking it in the way that we think that it's coming is getting in the way of seeking it in the way that is there, the way that the path. I don't want to say the path of least resistance, because Ryan Holiday, right? The obstacle is the way. It's not necessarily avoiding resistance that is our path forward, but right, when opportunity knocks, take that path, right? So gratitude for letting go. That was a long way of saying that. Anyway, that's it for today.